40 years ago, John Carpenter pretty much created the slasher genre, whereupon a group of biologically curious teenagers are picked off one by one by a masked, unstoppable killer who goes by the name of Michael Myers, who...
It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity, or remorse, or fear, and it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
In fact, Myers has less of a backstory than the Terminator. Myers has no backstory, no explanation of why he does what he does, or even if he's human or just some ancient primal force of evil that can only be slowed down but never stopped. He never speaks, and the fact you never see his actual face means you can't even read his emotions. Slight head tilt is all you're gonna get. He was the first of so many copies that it's insane, but to my mind, he's the best. Even if legal issues prevented that legendary mask from being in Baby Driver. Anyway, this film is set 40 years after the original and joins me in ignoring every single sequel that this franchise churned out. Especially Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. That was just weird. Anyway, back to the 2018 offering, and it's a relatively familiar tale. Myers escapes and begins murdering everyone he meets on his way to a final confrontation with Laurie Strode, played by the always eternally great Jamie Lee Curtis. And there is a lot here that's really, really good. From the moment that iconic theme starts playing, you get a sense that this is made by people who get that Myers is a force of nature. I love that so many people are driven to understand him and frustrated, even to the point of madness, by Myers' refusal to engage with them in any way, shape or form. Which drives a lot of the first act, as people try so hard to project what they think they must be going on in Michael's head, even as they are told again and again, mostly by Curtis, that they're overthinking Myers. I even enjoyed some of the film's kills, but I find it interesting that in the original film, the body count is a mere 6, 5 if you don't include a German Shepherd. Here, that total is surpassed before the end of the first act. Also, where the first was relatively chaste with its violence and quite graphic with its nudity, this version is ridiculously graphic with its violence and somehow really chaste with its nudity. Maybe there's some sort of comment there on how society has become more open in some ways and yet more prudish in others, but I'll let those with more free time than me pick it apart. Anyway, Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic, but she's basically Sarah Connor Mark II, who has tried to raise her daughter and granddaughter to be ready for the inevitable conflict that they don't seem to realise is coming. I enjoyed the Doctor, who has spent his life studying Michael, and it's a clone, okay? I was really trying hard to get into this film because Blumhouse makes the most amazing low-budget films, and I love pretty much everything that they do. I love the cast and the way the iconic theme music is used. I love that Carpenter was involved, but there is a difference between making nods to the original and lifting whole scenes almost frame by frame and giving everyone a smartphone. Scenes that in the original had me scared and worried, here just made me check off an imaginary checklist. And the ending? Well, that's 20 minutes that could have been handled so much better. I get what it was trying to go for, but towards the end it was verging on the slapstick. Pointless slapstick as well. You could have removed it all with a slight rewrite and lost nothing at all. And there were so many characters. People forget the first Halloween film was a low-budget, stripped-down film with nobody there that didn't need to be. Here, there were so many characters who existed purely to die. Half the film's body count could have been removed and nothing would have changed except the runtime. When it was setting the scene, it was interesting. When it was a Halloween film in the second act, it was tense. When it was in the third act, it was fine but overlong by the end. When it's a modern reboot, it's tense but pointless, well acted and with a few interesting ideas, but it goes on too long and it wastes a fairly interesting twist late in the third act. It takes too long to get Myers back on with his thing, and to be honest, I'd still take the original every day of the week. Halloween 2018 is fine. Nowhere good as the original, but it was never going to be. I saw it, liked it, but the more I checked my notes, the more I realised that it was fine and all. The bits that worked, though, were lifted almost frame by frame from the original. Strip out the last third, reduce the runtime to 90 minutes that films like this need to have in a bid not to overstay their welcome, which is a complete and utter shame. But what did you guys think, and what is your favourite movie slasher monster? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, it's been a dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.